If you're running a business and you're highly self-critical and this is not serving you well, then let's talk. You're probably even more critical towards yourself than you are on others. Maybe you even have already a couple of employees. And maybe you also notice you are critical towards them as well, but you're already inhibiting yourself, but you're even worse when it comes down to yourself. Extremely critical. Well, you can change that. That's certain. I've seen too many people to change so far that I could ignore that fact. And that's why I actually also shot this video, because in this video, first of all, I want to, together with you, analyze why you are so critical while running your business, but also in your private life. What's the psychological mechanisms behind? Very important. And then I even want to give you 4 directions you can go into to work on this inner critics. Okay, and the goal is basically that you feel better about yourself, but you also perform better, of course. Because I can imagine you being self-critical puts you often down quite a lot, makes you procrastinate, makes you stressed, and that's what we want to avoid. Okay, very first step is that you're noticing that actually there's some thinking error that's going on, because you're saying, wait, I'm criticizing myself all the time. Well, the knife cannot cut itself and the fire cannot burn itself, and you cannot criticize yourself. Actually, if you take a closer look, there are at least 2 sides within you. The one side is the very critical one, but the critical one needs to criticize somebody, which is the other side. And the critical guy is putting the other guy down, like, oh, you're doing a bad job, this is not how you should do it, you're always failing at this, why are you still not making this amount of money a month? And so yada yada yada. So this one side is feeling very low and down and disencouraged. And this side is probably also the one that clicked on this video right here. And then there's this other side, which is very critical. And this is the first insight, that this is just a thought. It's not like you yourself are criticized. No, it's just like a thought, and we will discover in a second where this is probably coming from. It's just a thought that you're having. And if I would talk with you one-on-one, then we would probably even discover a couple of more sides that you're having. Kind of like your employees. Maybe that's a good metaphor. It's one of your employees that probably also has a purpose. I mean, you hired this guy for a reason in your childhood somewhere. Probably trying to help somehow. Just the communication skills of this guy is not on point at all. You didn't invest in any communication skills or leadership skills or whatsoever. So whenever he notices, oh, maybe something is going wrong, you might fail, he's just screaming, he's just shouting, it's just, why are you still doing this? And then this other side of you is so annoyed already that you're not even wanting to listen to it. Like, I don't want you, go away. And this makes him even more angry. He shouts even more, criticizes this other part of you even more. And that's what's going on. Miscommunication. And potentially you also have miscommunication in your business with your clients, your employees. And working on your communication within will also improve your communication with other people, because it's basically the same. Where is it probably coming from? Just a guess. Maybe it's different. But I've seen this pattern with clients, is that probably in your childhood you had parents, maybe just one of them, like your mother or your father, who has been very critical, or you didn't get a lot of support, or they've been like helicopter parents, like always making sure you're not doing something wrong. And you notice, oh, if I'm not perfect, somebody's coming around and is criticizing me. And you start to anticipate that. So while you were doing already something, you noticed, oh, damn, I should do this perfect. I should do it this way. I should also do that. Just to anticipate, trying to prevent your parents to criticize you. So self-criticism is simply you anticipating and preventing criticism from the outside. So basically you internalized that voice of your mother or your father or both, and just internalized it within you, and that's now this one part criticizing yourself all the time. Which is, to a degree, again, just you trying to help yourself. Also, on an evolutionary, from an evolutionary perspective, it makes sense. We are having more of a bias towards threats and negativity, just wanting to ensure that we're not going to die. That's how evolution worked. The people who always looked at the positive side, always said, oh, you're doing fine, everything's great. Those people, they didn't work hard enough in summer to make sure they have enough food during winter. They didn't look at all the dangerous animals there are that could have killed them, and they did. And the people with the higher focus on threats and negativity survived, made more children, and this is how evolution worked. The problem is just that nowadays it's not serving you as much anymore. Again, your self-efficacy decreases, so the belief in your ability and your skills. You start to feel more stressed. Maybe you're more likely to have a burnout, probably also procrastinating more, because stress leads to procrastination, because procrastination is simply a protection mechanism to not feel so much stress. So there's a lot of stuff going on that is not serving you. There are not a lot of benefits to it. And this inner critics simply needs to get some communication training. That's basically the key. You don't need to fire this employee. By the way, you cannot fire this employee. Not sure how this works in your country. Maybe you're from the US. It's a bit easier than, for example, in Germany. I'm living in Germany. It's very hard to actually fire people if they have a long-term contract. And that's the same here as well. You cannot fire this guy. It's still a part of you. And though you can change that guy up by having a better communication. That's the goal. Yeah, let's talk about steps and directions you can go into to change. The first step is improving the communication, what I just mentioned. So you want to be a bit more appreciative, because this criticizer is just becoming more and more mad because you're avoiding it, trying to avoid it, not liking it. By appreciating it a bit more, having an honest conversation, and also this other person who is feeling down and discouraged all the time needs to be more confident to actually stand up with appreciation against the self-inner critics. That's the first step, or first direction, not step, it's the direction. Another direction would be the following. Right now you're just working on your thoughts. I think that way I should change that. But that's the lowest leverage to change anybody. The higher leverage would be to work on your behavior, and the deepest leverage, the largest leverage, would be to work on your self-image, who you think you are. Because if you think, hey, I'm a loving person, I'm a competent person, I like myself, so you have this self-image of yourself, you will behave a certain way, you will automatically think a certain way. And right now you probably simply know what you don't want to think anymore, and I challenge you to instead think about, in a more positive way, who do I want to be? So not about what I don't want to think, but who I want to be, and not on a thought level, but on a self-image level. Simply starting to think about that, what kind of person I want to be. That is already very important and will already change something in your life. Third step, the fixed mindset. You're having a fixed mindset right now, which means if I'm failing, I am bad. If I'm winning, I'm doing great. Gives you those ups and downs of confidence. And I want you to turn this into a growth mindset, which means, oh, there's failure going on. Great, let me learn from that. And how is this actually working? I'm curious because I want to figure this out. And simply because I fail at something doesn't mean that I'm a failure. Winning at something doesn't mean that I'm a winner all over the place, everywhere, all the time. And wins and loses are coming and going. There is this quote, actually Napoleon said that, I want to read it out. He said, "The man who has never made a mistake will never make anything else." And that's basically what you need to embody, not being so hard on yourself. And lastly, the all or nothing thinking. That's what you're engaging in a lot. Connected to this fixed mindset right now. You know, either I'm a winner or I'm a loser. There's not much in between. You're also probably very judgmental towards other people in your life. Prejudgmental. Putting them in a box very quickly. And I want you to train that deliberately, calling it out and be like, oh, I'm engaging in this all or nothing thinking again. I'm judging again. Is it really that way or that way? Is there something in between? Are there some factors that I don't even know yet? Is it true that simply me not making this amount of revenue this month means that I'm a failure? Are there any other potential reasons for that? How much percentage of that solution am I not even capable to know because there are a lot of factors of uncertainty in there? Those are all things you can also work on. So your communication skills with yourself, your self-image, the fixed mindset, and your all or nothing thinking. Those are 4 directions you can work on your self-criticism if you need some help with that. And at least I know certainly it will go faster if you engage in some one-on-one coaching. So if you want some help with that, there's a link below this video. You can sign up for a personal call with me and we can figure out a custom strategy, because this video is just for everybody. It's just a broad video, but I want to get to know you, want to know your personality and your circumstances, your situation, and based on that work out a custom strategy how you can work on your inner criticism and criticizer, and how you can let go potentially of procrastination, of feeling stressed, rumination, negative thoughts, worst case scenario, catastrophizing, whatever is going on with this self-talk that you're having. And I want to work with you on that. And this free call will be already valuable. You get this custom strategy. So make use of that and just book that call. And otherwise, also share this video with any other friend you have, any other business owner, entrepreneur, where you feel like, yes, they're struggling with that as well. And I can tell it's quite obvious from the outside, but they don't know yet. Share it with them. That might be helpful and valuable.